Yo, welcome to Woman Crush Every Day, where we discuss queer media, especially when it's black and especially when it's woman. I'm your host, Allison, aka Al Wu.
And I'm your host, Tang B, aka Sean B. Scribe.
And on this episode of Woman Crush Every Day, in honor and celebration of Coming Out Week, we're going to recommend 3 movies that you should watch and 1 book that you should read.
Absolutely.
That share Black lesbian coming out stories. So tune in.
Absolutely. But first, please make sure you subscribe.
Yes.
That way you can get this content when we drop it, so you can get your black queer woman life.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to let you know what to watch, what to read, what to see, and we're going to talk about it.
That's what we do.
So let's get into our first recommendation for things to watch and read for Coming Out Week.
All right. So our first recommendation of a movie to watch is a short film on HBO Max called Pure. This movie came out in 2020, I believe, and it's a short film. 2021.
Yeah.
My apologies. 2021, and it's about a high school student named Celeste, and it follows her in this as she's participating in a cotillion ball. If you don't know what a cotillion ball, it's like a fancy sort of coming of age, rites of passage dance where you get all fancified, but it's super straight.
Very straight.
But Celeste, as you can guess, isn't the straightest belle of the ball. So that's pretty much what we find out in this story.
Yes. It was a beautiful thing to watch. I really loved it. I loved the relationship between Celeste and her best friend, but also loved how there was a poem used to be a part of this coming out.
Yeah, that was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So I want to shout out the writer director of this piece. Her name is Natalie Jasmine Harris, a queer filmmaker, and just celebrate her. This was a part of her senior film, I believe, at NYU. So there's a partnership between NYU and HBO that put up these senior films. So it's just amazing to see this young queer voice telling these coming out stories for the future and generations to come. So check it out.
Yes, it's shot beautifully.
Awesome. All right. So our second recommendation for films that you should watch in Coming Out Week is The Prom.
Yes. And The Prom is about 2 queer women in high school who want to go to prom together. But then there's this PTA, and the president of the PTA is like, no gay stuff. So the town actually plans another prom and doesn't end up inviting the known lesbian. And that's where the film goes from there. It's a musical, so if you enjoy musicals, this may be one that you really like. It is very self-aware, pretty funny, has an all-star cast, Meryl Streep.
Keegan-Michael Key is in this, and the lesbian in this, the coming out story, is Ariana DeBose, who is queer in real life, and just a phenomenal actress, singer, dancer. I mean,
she kills it.
Shawty got the moves, okay? And she just recently won a Best Actress in a Supporting Role at the Tonys. So just really badass talent all around. Really great artist to watch.
We're totally here for it, Ariana. And another person who's a part of this cast is Kerry Washington, whom I love. If you don't know who Kerry Washington is, you should. But, she started Scandal. But that was like kind of late in her career to me. She's been around for a long time and has been doing beautiful work. And it just so happens that some of the work that she does involves stories of women loving women.
Yeah. A significant amount, I think.
It's actually quite interesting.
Very queer adjacent Kerry Washington.
What are you trying to tell us, Kerry?
She might be trying to tell us something. I don't know. But you know what? We didn't say you can watch The Prom on Amazon.
Yes.
I'm sorry, not on Amazon.
Netflix.
On Netflix. Yes, The Prom is a musical on Netflix. So check that out.
Absolutely.
But on Amazon, you can watch. We're segueing, coming back to Kerry Washington, and our third recommendation is The Peoples.
Yes.
Also, starring Kerry Washington. But this is not her queer story.
No.
This is a story about this kind of like high level family, high profile.
Yeah, they're like the
Black
Black
family.
Kennedys.
Yeah, they call them the Chocolate Kennedys. And Kerry Washington is one of the daughters, but the other actor, her name is Callie Hawk, I believe.
Yep.
Callie Hawk plays this lesbian who is a news anchor.
Yeah, on CNN. She's a bad bitch.
Yeah, kind of like, well, she's seeing her camera woman, but there is a little coming out story of them as Craig Robinson plays the boyfriend of Kerry Washington, but it's just like a meet the family sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sort of movie, yeah.
It's really fun, and what I really love about it is I'll say this, that the movie does not focus a whole lot on the sister who is queer, in this case, Gloria. But it is a part of the storyline and kind of plays consistently throughout. But what I loved was just, there's a scene that is coming out and the reaction is, I think, very healing and warm. So I won't give away any more than that, but definitely check this out if you are looking for like a feel-good thing that you can watch with your whole family and have it not be so focused on queer stuff, but you in the room. This is a good one. This is a good one to watch, and it's funny as hell. It's really fun. There are some problematic things that happen.
Yeah.
It's not... It requires a deeper conversation for some of the parts, but it's a really funny story, and really nice to have this included in it, and Callie Hawk does it. Great.
Awesome. All right, so those are our 3 recommendations for movies to watch, but our book recommendation is an anthology called Does Your Mama Know? An anthology of Black lesbian coming out stories by Lisa C. Moore. This anthology came out originally in 1997, and this was published by the author herself through her company Redbone Press. Yeah. And originally published in 1997, it featured a bunch of short stories, poems, interviews, some fiction, non-fiction stuff too in there. I mean, but all of these stories are written by Black lesbian women, and obviously the focus is on coming out.
Yes. Well, I'll say there's one story that's written by a white woman that was included.
That is true.
Because the author felt that it was written so well. And one of the things that this author, Lisa C. Moore, says in the introduction is that at the time of putting together this anthology, she really didn't have a lot of access to queer stories, especially queer coming out stories about Black women growing up. That's pretty true for 97. There wasn't a lot going on in the 90s. Things existed, but it was a lot harder to find. So it's beautiful that she put this together in one anthology, and she won a Lambda Literary Award for it. And I just want to shout out Lambda Literary, which is an organization that highlights queer authors. And so they will put out recommendations and awards and lists. So if you are looking for queer things to read, if you are looking for things that center your identity, you definitely want to check out Lambda Literary. It is just a beautiful, beautiful resource. And they have a lot more going on than just recommending books. They also have like writing classes and competitions and whatnot. So definitely check them out.
Totally. Yes. Very cool. So that book, as you mentioned, Lisa C. Moore won some awards for her anthology, but this book was also reprinted in 2009 with 17 more stories in the second edition than the first edition. So if you already had the first edition and didn't know there was a reprint, go ahead and get the new one. And if you're finding out about it now, you can purchase this book directly from the author from her website, redbonepress.com. There are some other places you can purchase the book online, but why get it anywhere else when you can support this Black lesbian writer directly? Absolutely. So and the book is just $19.95. So redbonepress.com. Check it out and buy that book.
Absolutely. And the last thing we really want to talk about is just if you've come out recently or if you are coming out in a new way, you know, you maybe come out to family, then you got to come out at work, then you got to come out to your friends, then you got to come out to your church, or whatever, wherever you are in the process. If you need some resources and you need more help for how do you get your family, how do you get the families of people that you know and love to be more knowledgeable and be able to have some resources to make some connections and talk about what it means to be a queer person, then definitely check out PFLAG, which stands for Parents, Families, and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. It's pretty much a resource for folk who are parents, lesbian, friends of gays,
Yeah.
to teach them, you know, how to talk about things, what kind of issues to bring up, different perspectives, different books and websites and resources. A lot of these you can also find at your local gay and lesbian center. So if you need more help or if you're trying to offer more assistance to somebody who just wants to be a welcoming, loving person in the family, check out PFLAG, check out your local gay and lesbian resource center.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to you for those ally resources. Because coming out isn't always easy to do. And sometimes having those resources and the books and the movies and the things that, you know, these conversations where you can connect to community are so, so important. So if you did come out in this past week, or really considered coming out, maybe it's still not that time, we want to just send our positive energy and vibes to you, because you know it's your choice for when to do it, when is right. I know I experienced people trying to pressure me coming out for a really long time, and it was terrible. And when I did come out to my family, it wasn't the world's best situation, but it also wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
And in that moment I did, well, I knew like I had a journey to climb. I also like immediately found out the friends who were there to support me when I did come out. Like those people came out of the woodwork to be like, "Hey, I got you. I see you." And I'm just so incredibly thankful to have had that. And you know, knowing that it wasn't the smoothest with my parents. My siblings were great, but you know, yeah, I just want to send those positive vibes out because it's not easy. It's not easy for everybody.
Easy.
And like it's great when people have like great stories of their coming out and the family is great and everybody knew and da. But like,
that's
you
not
know,
everybody's story.
It's not. So like, yeah, just really want to send out those good vibes and good energy to folks who maybe they're still struggling with coming out or have recently come out and it wasn't the best. Yeah.
And just encourage you to continue to be yourself as much as you can, wherever you can, because the more you're yourself, the more you're going to find your tribe, the more you're going to find people who are going to love you and want the same support that you want, and are willing to give it. So definitely continue to be strong. Know that you're not alone, that every queer person who's come out to somebody has shared this experience, and we're wishing the best for you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we hope you check out those films if you have already, or watch them again if you've already seen them. Read the book and tune in to next time when we talk about queer Black women, media, representations, and all that good stuff.
We'll have more. Until next time.
Peace. Y'all.